I mean, you're in the conversation now. I mean, there's no turning back. There's no turning back. And now that you know values. I don't know if you've come this far on the, but you know the values. You've come this far on the podcast series. Anybody who gets past like podcast 70, right? 2 weeks of listening or whatever, right? Okay, maybe not. 3 or 4 a day, maybe a month's listening, 2 a day. I mean, they can't turn back. They can't. I mean, they can turn back, do whatever they want, but they can't turn back. All right? They know, right? Now, once you have the knowledge, then you have the responsibility. You can't turn back, right? That's why I start talking about the state, right? So I didn't start with the family, because then too many people would turn back before they had the knowledge. DROs are just parents. DROs are the argument against parents, right? Just so you know. DROs are the argument against corrupt parenting. It's just that if I started off with people saying your parents are corrupt, they wouldn't listen. The false self doesn't get those metaphors, right? The false self is designed to segment and separate the integrity of the mind, so it just doesn't get these connections. But the true self does. DROs. So I put forward the DRO theory first, right? Because I'm talking about your family. There's nothing. Everything here is about your family. Because that's the only way we get to a DRO society, is to change the family. The state is but a petty, platonic, derived reflection of the family. Right? He starts in the crib and he works his way up, says the state is a sub for my dad, I sang relatively recently. And I mean, that's why. Anarchistic political theory is defooing. Then we talked about religion. All right, so first I said authority is voluntary. Subjugation to authority is voluntary based on mutual benefit. Mutual benefit. You like your parents, they like you. Wonderful. Have a great time. I envy you. That's wonderful. Mutually beneficial relationships with, quote, authority. Where you are an authority as a customer and they are an authority as the DRO. Where you are an authority as an adult and they are an authority as an adult. You and your parents. There is no authority, right, in the DRO world. Just as there is no authority in capitalism. There's wealth and there's no authority. No central planner. Am I pulling the curtain back too much here? Maybe, maybe not. Probably, you guys, you can handle it. The grand soap opera, the grand cosmic mindfuck that is Freedomain Radio. And then we talked, of course, about about religion. Right? We talked about religion. Because a lot of people are not religious, but even if they are, right, they have this belief about the virtue of religion, right? So first we deal with authority as voluntary, DROs, stateless society. Stateless society is just defoo life. And we talked about the evil of authority, and we talked about it in terms of the government, and we talked about it in terms of... Right, so I say authority is voluntary and mutual. It's DROs, and then existing authority is evil. Government and priests. And then I began talking about the family, much later. But it's all about the family, right? It's all about the family. Because the defenses that come up with, like, deflected or sublimated defenses can be dealt with. Direct attack defenses, you can't. I mean, people just run away. You can't deal with them, right? So when people come firing back with me with all of the missiles in the world about a stateless society and how to deal with criminals and this and that and the other, right? Well, that's a sublimated defense of the family, right? Right. Saying that life would be hell without a centralized government is saying, my parents beat me, but I would be really bad if they didn't. I'm the best I can be because they beat me. And you can deal with that because I don't do that anymore. Right now I say, what's the family issue that's provoking this? Because I've got some credibility. And I can have that conversation without people saying, oh yeah, well you're just switching it to my family because you can't answer my argument about DROs, man. Right? Because now I have the credibility, I can do what I always wanted to do, which is to say, what are you, right? This doesn't have anything to do with this about your family. It's not about DROs. It's not about UPB. It's about your family. Right? But I can't do that without credibility, without a strong theoretical framework. I can't do that. If people would just blow up and run away. Get angry, run away, and I think that would be a real shame. I have to be very, 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 very careful with this message. But you've come this far, you might as well know what I was up to. Except for the YouTubers who are listening quite a bit out of sequence, which is fine too. Getting these weapons to the true self, right? Getting these weapons, sneaking them through the gulags of the false self and getting these weapons to the true self is no easy feat. It makes surgery when blindfolded look like, fishing with dynamite. So that's how we work at changing the family. Work at changing the ideas about abstract authority and start to work it closer and closer to you.